Welcome to the REI Foundation podcast, where we cover all the steps and strategies to make your real estate dreams a reality. Now your hosts, Jason and Pili.
Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Foundation podcast. Today is your multifamily Monday. And again, we so appreciate you listening. If you like what you hear, do us a huge favor. Go over to iTunes, go over and give us a 5-star rating and review. If you're listening to this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Give us some love right there because it really helps us get out to more of the masses. And we just so appreciate everything you give back to us. We love being here, giving you the guidance we can from a day-to-day basis. Today, we're going to talk about property managers. Get this question a lot. How are you finding property managers to manage your properties 1,000 miles away? I had a property manager, or I hear another story, everything went wrong, and it just was a nightmare, and I'll never do it again. So I'm going to stick here, manage my own properties here, one at a time, because I just can't trust anybody. Well, what I say to that is nonsense. Honestly, it was probably that investor didn't set clear expectations and didn't do their homework. So, of course, not every property management company or property manager is great. Just like every investor is not going to be a magical investor. But if you set your expectations, do your homework, and go out there and put guidance to what you want, well, you will absolutely have success. So your first thing is be specific with the type of property management company you want. If I'm focusing on 100-unit B and C apartment complexes in the Midwest, well, I'm going to look for a property management company that is fluent with BC assets, has a number of large buildings under management, and has thousands of units under management. So if I do go find a 100-unit apartment complex, it's a B asset, and I bring it to this property management company, well, they're not going to have to hire a new staff and set up new processes to take on place. So if I was searching property management companies and a property manager was solely focused on single family Class A homes, they are not going to be the right fit for me. Second to this, I want to make sure that they have construction in-house. Now, this does not follow for all the mechanicals. They're not going to have boiler techs and HVAC specialists and plumbers and electricians on staff, but I want to make sure they have construction staff on in-house so they can handle a number of the items, CapEx items we're going to work on without having to sub out every project. And every time I need something done, we're not going to have to call out and get 10 quotes. Beyond this, I'm also going to want them to have real-time data. I want to have access to my collections, to my vacancy and occupancy trends, to my revenues and my expenses on a month-to-month, week-to-week, day-to-day basis. And if I want to check in Sunday night at 11 p.m. to see honestly where I stand with the property, I want to be able to do this. I don't want to have to request a report and wait 2 weeks for that report to come out to me. Next, I'm going to make sure I'm very specific with them. I'm going to set expectations, goals. I'm going to have guidelines for them. We have weekly meetings, a standing weekly meeting to cover our properties, cover any outstanding issues, cover collections, cover move-ins, cover vacancies, cover open items, cover if we're doing a large construction project, how that project is going and where are those points. I'm also going to be giving guidance on our turns. I want to make sure I'm very clear on expectations on what our turn's going to be, because your biggest expense is when a unit goes vacant, you have to turn that unit and the downtime of not having that income come in. So if I can quicken that process to give them guidance on what exactly I want each time a turn happens, well, then it's going to cut down of them having to go out there, prepare a quote, guess what I think they think I want, and then bring it back to me. Because a lot of failure happens with a property management company is when you just don't give them guidance. Oh, I hired a property management company and they didn't do what I want. Well, what did you ask them to do? Well, they were a property management company, so I expected they were going to go out there and manage the property. Well, did you give them any ideas or any context to what you want to do? Well, no. Well, how are they going to understand what exactly you want? They may have thought they're being in your best interest, but weren't having a clue what you were actually looking for. Maybe they were over renovating units because that's what they do on other properties, and they were taking them to a different class, but you wanted to stay with all classic units, not upgrade units. Maybe conversely, they were keeping everything in classic because they thought that was the best approach, and you wanted to try some premium units. Well, make sure you're very specific with them. So at this point, if they're not meeting their metrics, you can go back and ask why. And you also want to get their guidance. You want to tell them your plan and see if they feel they can implement that plan. Because if you're going to get a property management company that's not, we'll say, in faith that your plan can work, well, then you're not going to have a successful operation. Okay, put all this to work. Go out there, make it happen. Today is Monday. Fresh start, great week. Let's get after it. Get that property under contract, put that right team in place, and get it done.
Thanks for tuning into the REI Foundation podcast. Check back next time for more awesome tips and strategies to launch your new you in real estate.